And we have just one last statement to finish, and that is the statement of cash flow. Now, the statement of cash flow probably has received less attention in our class for now. We're going to talk about it in the last part of our semester. But for now, all you need to know that the statement of cash flow, generally speaking, is separated into three parts: operating activities, investing activities, and the financing activities. What does it basically mean is that they try to separate the cash inflow or outflow based on their activities. Now, operating activities, if you remember, we talked about it, they relate to our direct activities. So if I am a printing company, and to serve my business I need a rent space, then that's operating activity. If I need a paper to make a service of printing service, then it's also operating activity. Wages, same way. And the customers, so basically sale from customers, is also going to be included into operating activities. Now, we already know by now that our rent, and this is again the least confusing one, because this statement follows cash. So regardless of revenue, timing, timing is important, but regardless of the on credit, so we don't count on credit entries because they are not on cash, we just follow the cash. Now, let's look first and foremost at the operating activities, and we know that $6,000, so I'll put minus because it was deduction, it was an outflow from the business, was used on rent. We know that there is no necessity to think about about 1 month passing by, 11 months staying ahead of us. So we don't talk about that, we're not thinking about that, we're literally just looking how much cash we paid, how much we received, and that's it. So we paid $6,000 worth of rent, so we recorded just like that negative 6,000 because this is an outflow. The next one is 1,000, again a negative number because it's an outflow, we record it under the papers. The wages, we paid 2,000. Maybe I should have just moved it more here so you can see we paid $2,000 of salary to employees. So again, it's an outflow of cash, 2,000, and it's negative. Now from customers, we have received, or basically, customers or sales, right? So this is basically, we made service, sales, let's put it this way, sales, but only cash sales. We're not talking about credit sales, sales on cash. Okay, let me just add that, sales on cash, we have incurred, and that was 5,000. And here notice I didn't put a negative sign because we're talking about cash inflow. Yes, so now we can summarize the operating activities. We can again use the formula. I like using formulas, but sometimes if I'm using the different types of computer, it gets really annoying. Okay, so we have negative cash, so negative, by negative I mean outflow of cash of 4,000. That's our operating activities. Now from investing activities, we invested and we bought printing device. This can be included in the investing activities. I have invested into my business by purchasing a device that will help me to move my business for another 2 years, as we have calculated, right? So printing device was an outflow of cash, 10,000. And that's a negative, and again we can just equal to it because it's only one entry, so minus 10,000 is our investing activities. Now from financing activities, I know it's confusing, but just stick with it, and this is how they do it. So normally you would assume that investing activities are contributed capital, but that's not how it works. So financing activities, you financed your business by contributing capital or borrowing money, and investing is by investing into certain products or equipment that will help you to move your business further. So financing activities are the contributed capital, and we have inflow, so it's a positive number of $5,000 of capital, and we borrowed money from bank, which is $20,000 of cash inflow. Now the total cash from operating activities is total sum, and that's basically $25,000. Now the end cash here, now again, don't be afraid, don't be alarmed, just because you can see here all of these entries and you probably are already sort of confused in a sense that, but we did all of these expenses, what happened to that? All of the expenses are recorded here. You see, the red numbers are basically your expenses, what you have incurred, and so on. So you don't have to worry about that. And once you summarize this total amounts, you will see that everything is calculated just as it was supposed to be. Yeah. So the reason why I'm putting plus is because the numbers are negative, so they are going to calculate themselves perfectly. Now, the end cash is 11,000. To be able to check whether you have made the correct entries and whether it is true number, all you have to do is look at the cash from the balance sheet. And as you can see, 11,000 here, 11,000 there. We are again in the right. Yeah, so just color coded again with green color, so you can see that these two numbers match perfectly. Your end cash and the cash, lost cash in the balance sheet is shown to be 11,000, and that's actually the number that we were looking for. So that's it. We have compiled, we've finished our 4 financial statements. It's very easy. I think the moment you relax your brains, you calm yourselves, you realize that there's nothing hard about this one. All you have to do is follow logic and simple line of the information that you have been provided. Now, besides obviously besides of these numbers being linked with the financial statements, you already have different types of connection, which is, for example, here, as you can see, the printing device originally that used to cost 10,000, but as you know, in the income statement we've reduced, we've expensed the depreciation 375, so it did see the reflection in the balance sheet. So there's many connections between these the pieces of information, and you have already experienced that, and I hope it made it much more clearer for you, and you will successfully be able to solve similar problem by yourself and get all correct numbers.